A very good day to you this Wednesday. Plenty of news to get into in F1 today, and it's mainly about technical directives, the fallout from Canada, and of course the build-up to the French Grand Prix, where new changes will come into effect in terms of managing the vertical oscillations or the bouncing on Formula One's 2022 cars. Now, Austria is of course this coming weekend, GPFans.com for all of the build-up to that, but let's talk TDs today. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has labelled the FIA's insinuation that rival teams have abused floor flexibility regulations as a shocker. F1's governing body has produced a revised B version of the technical directive introduced in Canada 2 weeks ago, aimed at battling bouncing and porpoising, with a new metric to be enforced at the French Grand Prix, ensuring teams fall within an acceptable range of vertical oscillations, or bouncing. But a second part of the TD focused on plank wear and flexibility has been overlooked somewhat, with the FIA suggesting these parts go hand in hand with the metric in relation to the same issues. Wolff has picked out this section of the TD as the most noteworthy and suggests rivals have been exploiting the regulations. There is an interesting second topic, bibs and floors, said Wolff. I believe some teams have been stretching that a bit too much, and that is going to change before Paul Ricard. Wolff went on to say that no one had any idea of this stretching of the regulations until it was brought up by the Technical Advisory Committee, which surprised all of the teams. What is in the regulations and what the intent of the regulations is really clear. There is no argument why that could deflect more than what is in the regs, continued Wolff. A bit of a surprise, to say the least. More a shocker. Elsewhere, Alpine team principal Otmar Szafnauer has conceded the FIA is duty-bound to act upon potential safety issues. But Szafnauer has revealed he would prefer not to see a change to the F1 regulations mid-season, as the sport aims to tackle the bouncing and porpoising issues and its effect on drivers. A controversial technical directive in Canada, of course, where the sport's governing body allowed a second floor stay to be used by teams while sensors were used to gather vertical acceleration and load data came into effect. But that data has been analysed, with an update to the TD revealing constraints will be brought in around the French Grand Prix, as a new metric will be used to measure whether cars are within the acceptable level of the bouncing or the vertical oscillations. Now, if teams are unable to confirm, changes would need to be made either to the car or the setup, whilst widespread problems could lead to technical changes across Formula One. Szafnauer was asked if he was worried about the goalposts being moved mid-season, with the Alpine man replying, "Well, it is better to have sight of the rules early on and not have to change them mid-season." Having said that, there has been a precedent. If it is a safety issue, the FIA are duty-bound to look at it and make changes. But I'm always in favour of knowing the rules well in advance, having an even playing field and then letting everyone find their own solution. Basically, Szafnauer was saying that if the rules have to be changed in mid-season due to safety issues, then he's okay with it, but he's not a big fan of rule changes mid-season in general, and they probably won't be popular. We'll just wait for the Christian Horner response, because you just know that that's coming from the Red Bull team boss. If it does, that'll be on GPFans.com with all of the news in the world of Formula One.